So this is a big societal issue for all of us.
A call for more state funding for mental health hospitals is made in Anoka this week. Plus, learning more about the legal system. Dozens turn out at the Anoka County Courthouse for Law Day. But first,
you're just kind of numb, and like nobody knows what to do or what to say because there's nothing that you can say that's right.
The community mourns the loss of a mother killed in a murder-suicide over the weekend. That tops CTN News this Friday, April 29th, 2016. Thanks for joining us. An act of domestic violence has claimed the life of a Ramsey woman and left 4 children without parents.
Authorities say 30-year-old Courtney Munson was shot and killed by her 41-year-old husband in the couple's home last Friday night. Bryce Munson then turned the gun on himself. Tonight, hundreds will pay tribute to Courtney at a candlelight vigil at Central Park in Ramsey. CTN's Jordan Rylands has more on what we as a community can do to help end domestic violence.
To have something like this happen, it shakes everybody, everybody to the core.
The news of Courtney Monson's death has left a community shocked and saddened as they remember the woman who spent thousands of hours volunteering with the Anoka Ramsey Athletic Association, a commitment she made for her children.
We call her Mama Bear. She was a Mama Bear. She took care of her kids. She watched over her kids. She was protective of those kids, and I admire her for it.
Courtney's 4 children, ages 12, 9, 3, and 2, are all being cared for by family members. They hope their loss can open up a discussion about a growing problem in communities across the country, domestic violence.
It's not just a women's issue, it's a community issue. People are dying. Their lives are being ripped apart.
In 2015, 34 lives were taken by domestic violence in Minnesota. 4 of those included children. Connie Moore is the executive director of Alexandra House, whose mission is to give power back to the victims of domestic and sexual violence.
I think the more our community has these conversations and makes it okay and isn't judging individuals in these situations, that makes it safer for victims to come forward and say this is what's happening and to get the help that they need.
As the community of Ramsey remembers a friend and devoted mother, they will also continue to love her children the way Courtney did.
Her kids are going to be watched over by her community. No matter where they are, they're always a member of our community, and they will be forever.
Jordan Rylands, CTN News.
Family and friends have created a GoFundMe page to support Courtney's 4 children. If you'd like to learn more or to donate, we have a link on our website at ctncoonrapids.com. A special fundraiser for the Alexandra House is just a few weeks away. On May 21st, an event called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes will take place at the City Hall Plaza in downtown Anoka. Registration begins at 8:30 a.m. The walk starts at 10 a.m. Along with raising money for the Alexandra House, the event will raise awareness about domestic, sexual, and gender violence in the community. Participants, including men, are encouraged to wear high heels for the walk.
Concern is growing over the dramatic rise in the use of a potent and illegal drug here in Minnesota. In just the first 3 months of this year, the Northwest Metro Violent Crime Enforcement Team has seized more than 12 pounds of marijuana wax. The team seized less than a quarter of a pound all of last year. Marijuana wax has a higher concentration of THC, between 30 and 90%, compared with an average of 14% in a typical marijuana leaf. Dozens of people came out to the Anoka County Government Center today for Anoka Law Day 2016. The event featured tours of the courthouse and free legal service clinics like immigration and expungement law issues. It was a chance for anyone with legal questions to get free legal advice from attorneys and other justice partners.
This is different for Anoka County because we're actually offering services today. We're showing people how we run our court system instead of just talking about it. I think that's a little bit unique. It's the first year we've tried it. If we have a good turnout, which it looks like we do, we hope to repeat that.
People were also invited into a courtroom where Anoka County canine handler Brian Collier talked about his work with his black lab, Mesa. Anoka Law Day always falls on May 1st, or the closest working day to it.
Governor Mark Dayton has created a new position to oversee rail safety in Minnesota. This week, the governor's office announced that Aileen Sharumoff will serve as the state's rail director effective May 2nd. She will work out of the governor's office and be responsible for pursuing railroad infrastructure improvements, along with working with communities along rail lines and the railroad to ensure safety. There are 4,400 miles of tracks in Minnesota. This week, the Senate included funding in its bonding bill for a grade separation at the Hanson Boulevard railroad tracks. For the last year, public safety officials have been pushing for a bridge over the railroad tracks to improve safety and eliminate delays for motorists and emergency vehicles at the crossing. The Senate version of the bonding bill includes $12.6 million from the state needed to make the project a reality. The House is expected to release its bonding bill next week. Another bill that could affect public safety is being pushed by mental health workers for additional funding.
A public meeting at the Anoka Metro Regional Treatment Center this week gave a diverse group a platform to push for legislative support. CTN's Joe Nelson was at the meeting and has more on why the funding is needed.
Action is needed now, this session, in the next 3 weeks.
A panel pushed the importance of more state funding for mental health hospitals Tuesday at the Anoka Metro Regional Treatment Center. Governor Mark Dayton supports the effort and is asking lawmakers to approve more than $175 million, with $30 million going to Anoka in the current legislative session.
There has to be the resources to make it happen, both in technology, infrastructure, but most importantly in staff and the clinical level of expertise needed.
Staff at the facility saw an increase in volatile patients and sustained more injuries amid complaints of excessive restraints on patients and other mistreatment.
Our collective vision is that Anoka is not just doing mediocre care, but actually Anoka is innovating and creating the best practices around mental and behavioral health.
Problems at the treatment center led to a potential loss of federal funding that was restored after a systems improvement agreement was made with the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. The agreement made this week brings on consultants to assess needs for improvements, establishes accountability, and monitors levels of staff training, restraint use, and safety.
Our patients are not getting the right care at the right time in the right settings.
The care is lacking across the state.
The panel argued for more trained staffing to allow mental and behavioral health patients to be cared for properly.
It's time we quit treating mental health like a second-class disease.
It is a disease to be treated no different than other diseases.
We can't afford to wait any longer to mend these holes in our safety net.
The legislative session ends in less than 4 weeks. The Systems Improvement Agreement, which prevented a loss of millions of dollars in funding, extends through May of 2018. Stephen, Karen?
All right, we should know more in the next couple of weeks then.
Yep. All right.
Thanks, Joe. The Coon Rapids City Council will take up the issue of backyard chickens next week. At its last meeting, the City Council introduced an ordinance regulating chickens and amending the non-domestic animal ordinance. Under the proposal, homeowners would be allowed a maximum of 4 chickens. No roosters are allowed, and there are many other rules that go along with the proposed ordinance. The council is expected to take a formal vote at its May 3rd meeting. The public will be allowed to speak on the issue. Another ordinance under consideration at the May 3rd meeting would allow for native plantings and landscapes. Under current city code, grass and weeds can't be taller than 8 inches. The new ordinance would allow specific plants and grasses to be taller than 8 inches, but they can't include weeds or overgrown turf grass. The plantings also can't be within the public right-of-way or near an intersection. Environmental groups say native plantings are more environmentally friendly as they need less water and fertilizer to grow.
Preparations are underway for a new intersection near Sand Creek Park. Late last year, the City Council awarded the contract to Valley Paving in the amount of $905,000. The project involves a new traffic signal at the Northdale Boulevard Redwood Street intersection, along with new turn lanes and a sidewalk along the north side of Northdale Boulevard, extending west to the railroad tracks. Work will continue into the summer. The grand reopening of Sand Creek Park is set for the spring of 2017.
Local children will be getting a jump start on the fishing season next weekend. On May 7th, the Coon Rapids Lions Club and Anoka County Parks Department is sponsoring a free hooked-on fishing clinic at the Coon Rapids Dam from 8 a.m. to noon. In addition to learning about the sport, participants can visit with pro fisherman Al Meyer. Kids will also receive a free rod, reel, and tackle box while supplies last, plus they'll enjoy a free lunch. Last year, more than 1,000 kids took part in the free fishing clinic. That thing has grown a lot over the years, and pretty cool to walk away with some free stuff and a free lunch.
That's right. Very well attended and a great time for everybody.
Yeah. All right. That is going to do it for us this week. Thanks for watching. We'll continue to follow all the news here in the city and have a full report again next week.
Bye-bye.